if it isn't one of my favorite customers. Welcome back. How's it going? That's good. Glad to hear it. Happy Valentine's Day. Oh yeah, we love a good celebration around here. Any excuse to put up some decorations or mix up some specialty drinks. Speaking of which, what can I get you? Feeling adventurous, are we? Let me show you the special Valentine cocktail menu. Okay, just for tonight we have these. There's Love Potion number 9, which is basically a fruity vodka martini with a sugared rim and some dry ice to make it all smoky. We love that. Looks nicely mystical with no actual magic required. No, of course not. I don't spike any of these drinks with real magic. And love potions are bad news anyway. Very, very bad news. I can tell you that story later. In the meantime, let's see. Next is the Conversation Heart, which is really just a clover club. Do you know what that is? Oh, you might like it. It's a classic. It's made with gin, raspberry syrup, lemon juice, and egg white. It's all shaken up together so it gets foamy and pink. Oh yeah, clover clubs go way back, like pre-prohibition. But that's not a cutesy sounding name, so I rebranded it just for tonight. It's not one that people tend to order much anyway. Well, at least not people under 100 years old, but they're popular tonight. Okay, we also have the pink squirrel. That one's a little fancy, very dessertish. It's equal parts creme de noyau, creme de cacao, and heavy cream. So the consistency is sort of like a grasshopper or a mudslide, creamy and filling. Not at all low in calories. Not that it matters today. The flavor is kinda almondy, definitely nutty, but in a light way. People say it tastes like melted ice cream. Okay, well the last one is the pity party, which is not to be taken seriously. It's a gentle tease. A lot of people don't particularly like this day, and we don't want to smash lovey stuff down their throats. Plus, some people enjoy a little self-deprecation. And for them, we have this fun drink. It's absinthe, gin, tonic water, gummy bears, and pop rocks. Drink it at your own risk. Nope, if you want that one, you have to try it. I won't say anything else about it other than this. I pity the person who orders it, but you'll definitely have some kind of party. That's up to you. Want something special then, or back to a more traditional choice? Works for me. One love potion number 9. Maybe you can brave the pity party later. Now then, while I work on this, are you alone tonight? Or is your water nymph going to catch up to us? Oh, that's too bad. You hate to see it when people have commitments they can't get out of, especially on festive days. But you two are still moving along well? Ah, another city entirely. That's a challenge, one that many a couple has fallen to. I don't envy the choices you have to make. No, but on the bright side, you love her. Of course you do. That much is obvious. Look, I'm really good at my job, remember? I don't know what's in her mind or heart, but I suspect she's pretty into you too, even if she doesn't always show it. I get it. Relationships are something. Well, I could wax poetic for you if you want, but it won't be anything you haven't already heard. Me? Of course I've been in love. I may have insight into other people's feelings, but that doesn't mean I don't have some of my own. Oh yes, all sorts of relationships. But that's the thing, feelings aren't the same as relationships, you know. No, not at all. Feelings, they just happen. We can nurture them or avoid them or whatever, but in the end, how we feel about someone else is just how we feel. It's emotion without action. Relationships are the action. When we take those feelings and make them into something tangible, well, more tangible. The feelings make the foundation upon which the relationship is built. And from there, things can grow and expand and hopefully flourish, whether it's romantic, platonic, family, whatever. Well, yes, feelings do change, but not always for the worse. You know how new relationship energy works, right? That initial rush of getting to know a new person, the novelty of it. It's shiny and bright, and it can be your whole focus for a while. But that sort of energy can't last. It's unsustainable. So that feeling changes, becomes something more permanent. I didn't say good, I said permanent. Sometimes when the NRE wears off, you find maybe you didn't feel as strongly for this person as you thought. Maybe you were blinded by the flashy bits, but once you saw clearly, the substance wasn't there. Which isn't to say the other person isn't awesome in their own way. They're just not right for you, you know? The common ground you thought you had was made of sand. But sometimes, when the early stuff wears off, you get something that's warm and safe and lasting. It's two people growing in the same direction, understanding each other, appreciating each other, supporting each other. It's not super exciting, although it can still have plenty of sparks along the way, but it's solid, way more solid than the early excitement. The early stuff is the icing on the cupcake. The real feelings are the cake itself. It depends. Sometimes you can control how you feel, sometimes you can't. You can't force yourself to love someone that you just don't love. That's impossible. But if you sense the early stuff wearing off and you feel maybe a bit bored, you can make the effort to keep the feelings positive. You can try, but you have to be pretty in tune with your own wants and needs and see things as clearly as you can. Focus on the things that first drew you to the other person. Focus on the positives about being together long term. And be honest with yourself about the things that don't work now that the rose-colored glasses are off. Figure out what's important to you and what you care about in the other person. The icing brought you together. The cupcake is what matters. Well, yeah, that's how relationships take work. Work doesn't mean busting your ass all day long for the other person. It doesn't mean lots of drama and nonsense. It just means recognizing that you're in it with someone else, and you want to make it good. Be willing to add some of that spark back to avoid ruts. Be appreciative of the other person. Take turns supporting each other when things get rough. Face troubles as a team. Have each other's backs. Laugh together, enjoy each other, and try to walk the same path in the same direction. It's not always a guarantee. Sometimes you can do everything right and still manage to grow apart. It happens. You look back and the path diverged a while ago, and you're not on the same one anymore. But when you find someone that sparks you the way you seem to be sparked, when you find someone who feels familiar and warm, that you can trust and be your true, honest self with, that's not as common as people seem to think. It's pretty rare. That's true too. We all put up walls. We all have some degree of trust issues. Everyone in this bar has baggage, some hundreds of years in the making. But we all have something in common. We want to be loved and wanted for who we are. We want to be seen and heard and appreciated and validated. We want to walk that path with someone else who gets us. Yeah, wanting is different from having. Our own fears and worries can hold us back. I've known people who were head over heels for someone else who was perfect for them, and in the end they were too scared to try. They were worried about various things, and that worry consumed them. All they saw were the obstacles. They didn't see the opportunities. So they missed out, and to this day, most of them regret it. I'm not saying that'll be you, not at all. I'm just saying it happens. And sometimes it's no one's fault. Sometimes the fear is too great. Well, see that picture on the wall back there? That's a philosopher named Kierkegaard. He came up with something called the leap into faith. Maybe you've heard of it. Also called the leap of faith sometimes, but into is more accurate. There you go. The only way you can truly take a leap into faith is if your faith is in something that can't be proved or rationalized. Reason doesn't enter into it at all. You leap because you believe. I keep that picture around because sometimes I need to be reminded myself that some faith is worth leaping for. Yeah, well, I didn't agree with everything he said, not remotely. But the leap into faith I like. I'm a moral relativist. Kierkegaard believed in God. Individualism, not relativism. But even a blind squirrel finds a nut every so often. How's the drink? Good, I'm glad. So yeah, my best advice to you is be honest with yourself about how you feel. Be honest with her about your wants and needs. Listen to her about her own feelings and needs. And work together to see if there's a path forward for you. If there is, even if it's scary or unorthodox, even if it terrifies the crap out of you, trust your heart. Leap into faith. See what might happen. Those are valid concerns. Different worlds, different backgrounds, all of it. She's a water nymph. You are definitely not that. But I know what's in your heart. Isn't it obvious? She is. You're welcome. Insert disclaimer here about how your mileage may vary. This is not to be construed as actual medical or legal advice, yada yada. I'm just a bartender, my friend, but I like you. I want you to be happy. And when you think about her, you seem happy. That tells me all I need to know. Hey, sometimes it is simple. It's people that complicate things. Was there anything else you wanted to talk about? Tell you what. Let me get a few more drinks made, and then I'll tell you the love potion story. Let's just say I was young and very stupid. Oh, you'll like it. Let me know if you need another drink or something to eat. It's going to be a fun night in here tonight, I promise you. Of course. Love is in the air, and I am in love with love. There's no better way to be. All right then, be right back. And if you decide you want to try a pity party, just let me know.